cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded.
Well, there you have it. Now, you can draw any conclusion you want. You could say, well, the ravings of the Reverend mean nothing. He only sat there for 20 years. You could say that his claims to create a civilian security force is a benign idea, something along the lines of the Peace Corps. Or you can say, wait a minute. Michael said power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I asked people to call in with who said that first and under what circumstance. And we're going to talk about it in a minute, but we do have a winner, so please, no more calls on that question. I want you to stop calling on that. Jose wins a free copy of Psychological Nudity. Jose in Grand Rapids, who said that?
Yes, sir, that was Lord Acton, a professor of Cambridge, who said that liberty is not a means to a higher political end. It is itself the highest political end.
And he was referring, of course, to virtually any politician. Most of them, as you well know, are power mad, or they wouldn't go in the field to begin with. But when you have a man like this who has millions of worshipers who don't even listen to what he's saying but are swayed by his rhetorical abilities, there's a man who's drunk on his own power, which is corrupting him. And I believe that absolute power will corrupt him absolutely. And I don't know that the Pelosi wing of the party can constrain him should he win, Jose. That's my particular fear.
Well, what I'm really concerned is about this civilian national security force and how all that is tied to everything we know that is not known about Obama.
What does he mean by a national security, a civilian national security force? Does he mean the Nation of Islam in every white neighborhood, patrolling and cajoling? What does he mean?
He means a community-level security cells, pretty much like the Committees for the Defense of the Revolution in Cuba and the Bolivarian circles in Venezuela. These are networks they are already in place if you want to heed the warning. ACORN, for example, is only one of over 100 different community organizations that appear to be working independently, but all working coordinatedly towards the same effect. This is very well established by Saul Alinsky and Saul Alinsky's mentor, philosophical mentor, Antonio Gramsci, the Italian communist. And it goes at par with Senator Obama's understanding of the Constitution, which constitutions are to be circumvented by a apparently loose network of community organizations that you can at one time spring together into action.
Jose, I sense that. Are you from Cuba originally?
No, no. I'm not going to tell you what, but I have.
All right, fine. Oh, okay, preserve your privacy. But I understand about cadres. I know how they operate. But what, in your mind, can explain a candidate for the presidency saying that in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set, we've got to have a civilian national security force? Why is he not being asked what he means by this by anyone in the media? Why?
Because for the last 30, 40 years, this new left international multiculturalist movement has been working at all levels, from the universities to the media to everywhere, where even the journalists that have been formed and come out of journalist schools from the last 30 years are so already indoctrinated and ingrained in the verbiage, in the terminology, that they are all part of this, whether they even know it or not. So what you have here is exactly what Gramsci's dream was, that you slowly infiltrate. You don't have to create a communist party. You don't have to be confrontational. What you do is you slowly infiltrate all the institutions in culture, so that at one point, when the time is ripe, all you have to do is introduce the leader that you are going to, through the democratic process, eliminate the democratic process.